You're listening to After Action Report at savage.love.
After Action Report.
Welcome to After Action Report, where folks who've tried something new tell us how it went. This week, I spoke with Chrissy, who tried something shocking. Let's all perv along together, shall we? Joining us for this After Action Report, Chrissy. Chrissy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Dan?
Really, really good. Thank you for coming on After Action Report. Give us the brief bio, the elevator pitch. Who are you? No identifying details, but just tell us a little bit about you.
I am a late 40s woman. I'm a bisexual woman, and I recently went to a sex club for the first time.
So you went to a sex club for the first time.
Yeah.
Why did you want to go to a sex club?
It's just something that I've never done, and I'm sort of a pervert, and I've done lots of other things. It's something that I've never had the opportunity to do.
So you never had the opportunity, but you always had the interest, or is this a recent interest?
Yeah, I've always been interested. When I've had partners, they haven't wanted to go, and I didn't want to go by myself, you know?
Yeah. So what was it about a sex club that enticed you? Why did you want to go to a sex club? What did you think would be there for you?
My friends had gone, and they had said it was a fun, weird time, and it was just something I wanted to check out. And I like impact play. I don't mind nudity. I don't mind people fucking around me. So I was like, why have I never done this thing? I'm going to check it out.
Okay, so who did you do it with? You said past partners weren't interested in going to a sex club with you. Do you have a new partner who was interested, or did you get out there and find some people to be your sex club first time experience chaperones?
I actually went with two of my male friends. So it was people I already knew. We know each other. We're friends. We care about each other. So it felt safe and they're fun. So it seemed like a good opportunity.
But neither was a romantic partner or a sexual partner?
No. I mean, a little bit.
Okay. So for people out there, I'm sure a lot of my listeners have been to sex clubs. I've been to sex clubs. For people out there who've never been to one, can you just describe it? What was it like?
Sure. So we have several sex clubs in my town, and this is the most nerdy, queer, kinky of the sex clubs. So they felt like this would be a good place for me to start, like that I would feel at home. I didn't feel out of my element. I was a little bit worried, but it felt very in my element.
Was it intimidating? Like, what was it like? You know, people are always afraid of walking through that door.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What was it like?
So, I walked up some stairs. It was a nightclub. I thought it was going to be like a bar with rooms that had people fucking in them privately, but it was just kind of, there were rooms that had people fucking in them. They were not private. And there were people fucking all over the place and doing all kinds of impact play. There were several spanking benches scattered throughout. So I saw lots of dangling balls and asses in the air and people just getting the shit beat out of them. There was like a cross that you could, that cross thing, the Iron Cross or whatever. So
the St. Andrew's Cross, the X, the big X.
Yes. Yeah, that.
Okay. Yeah, it's rare to see a crucifix in a sex club, oddly enough. Okay, so what did you do? You saw dangling balls, you saw people on spank benches, you saw people fucking everywhere. What did you, Chrissy, first time at the sex club, what did you do?
I got a drink. I'm not much of a drinker, but I needed a little drink. And there was probably about 5 different spanking benches, and I like being spanked. So I told my friends, like, let's spank me. So we waited a few minutes for one of the spanking benches to open up, and I just had him like spank the shit out of me. And one guy had one side. So one guy had my right cheek and the other guy had my left cheek. And it was sort of a competition, I guess, to see how long the marks would last. But
okay, you got spanked at the sex club. Anything else? Any sex at the sex club?
I got spanked in various locations throughout the sex club, and I didn't have sex in the sex club. It was more of a friend activity.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think any of us were really there to cruise other people. We were more just there to like be buddies, you know? I did get fingered in the sex club.
By your friends?
Yes, by one of my friends.
Okay, I should, me of all people shouldn't make that distinction. Like, if spanking is a sexual activity for you, you had sex in the sex club. You might not have had intercourse, PIV, PIB, but you had an erotic sexual experience with your friends. You got fingered. That counts. I think that counts as a sexual activity.
That does count, yeah.
This is the question I always build up to: good experience or bad experience?
Amazing experience. Super fun. I also got electrocuted. I electrocuted my friends.
Not fatally electrocuted, I hope.
Not fatally. Yeah, no.
That would officially be a bad experience, and I would be talking to the coroner right now, and not to you. Totally. You engaged in e-play, you didn't get electrocuted. Nobody threw a toaster into a tub with you in the sex club.
No. Yeah, I'm not there yet, but yeah. Like, I got electrocuted. So the guy held my hand and he turned me into a electric person, and I had like lightning bolt coming out of my finger. So I made my friends both take their dicks out and I shocked their dicks and we kissed, which was painful.
Revenge is your friends spanked the shit out of you and then you got to electrocute their dicks. Revenge is a dish best served by electrocuting a dick.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I wouldn't wish a bad experience on you or anyone, but we're so anxious here at After Action Report, a subsidiary of Savage Love Industries, to talk to somebody, because people who've had, tried something outside their comfort zone, had a bad experience, that happens too. And we're open to talking to people who've had bad experiences because there are lessons that can be learned from a bad experience. So anybody out there listening who's like, oh my God, another good experience. If you've had a bad experience and want to come on the show, talk about it. But Chrissy, you had a great experience, it sounds like.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was like being a kid. I got to run around. They held my purse and my drink, and I just was like running around having fun and doing all the activities, and it wasn't scary. I was afraid like people were going to hit on me and I was going to get stuck in boring, awkward conversations and that sort of thing. I was more afraid of like the party aspect of it than I was of being surrounded by naked people who were fucking. Yeah.
But people at the sex club were respectful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You came with the people that you wanted to play with, and nobody tried to insert themselves into your scenes or your action with the guys that you came with?
No. Yeah. I mean, we met up with the Electro Stim Dom, and he played with us for maybe an hour. It was super fun. So we had a nice time with him. There were lots of people watching. They were laughing. There was lots of noise, you know.
You approached the Eastim Dom. The Eastim Dom
they approached him. Mm-hmm. They told him our friend is interested, and he came up to me and he tapped me on the shoulder and he said, hello. My name was,
because I think this is a concern and an anxiety for a lot of people who are curious about going to a sex club. They'll have to fend off a lot of unwanted attention, or they'll get hit on and feel awkward rejecting people.
Yes.
But if you go to a sex club and you bring a date, you bring a friend, and there's a lot of sex clubs where a man can't go alone.
Yes.
Which helps with the people. It helps with the vibe, right?
For sure,
not to have a bunch of desperate guys who don't have somebody there that they arrived with, somebody they brought to the dance. But a lot of people's anxiety is they'll have to fend off a lot of unwanted attention. And for, I think, a lot of people who are women, people who are assigned female at birth, that undertow, the socialization to defer to, not to say no to men. I think women who are curious about sex clubs are worried that in that environment, they may wind up in a lot of interactions where they were afraid to say no.
Yep.
And wound up having unpleasant experiences, or consented to something just to get the guy out of their hair, off their back, literally sometimes. But that was not your experience.
No, I mean, I had my two friends on either side of me for most of the time, so we were a little bit closed off. There was one man who was interested, and whenever I wasn't with my friends, he would all of a sudden be there by my side talking to me. But it was, I could handle him. It wasn't scary or anything.
I think I know the answer to this next question. Would you do it again?
Yes, I want to try a different one. I like this one a lot, and I'm definitely going to go back. We have 2 other ones in our town, and they all have very different vibes. So I definitely want to try the second scariest one. I mean, the second least scariest one.
This town with all the sex clubs, I'm assuming it's Colorado Springs or Salt Lake City, one or the other.
Absolutely, yeah.
And anything you would do differently on your next visit?
I would probably not drink. And I would probably just try to be in the moment more. I wasn't feeling very aroused. I was more just overwhelmed in a good way by all the different things I was seeing and taking in. I was like, oh, look at those people are really enjoying themselves. I personally, I wasn't like
dripping wet.
It wasn't a super sexual experience for me. So maybe in the future, I would like to slow down a little bit and experience it as a more like sexual thing.
Okay, so the one thing I'm hearing you say you would do differently is that this first time at a sex club, you had a couple of drinks, to the liquid courage or to calm your nerves. And what you learned over the course of the evening is you didn't need that liquid courage or to calm your nerves.
No. I would have just wanted to be more in the moment, yeah.
And finally, any tips for people who might want to try the thing that you tried?
Yes. Don't be afraid to go with your friends. Don't be afraid to go with your platonic friends, as long as everybody is slutty and comfortable with each other's bodies and not going to be weirded out by anything that's going on. You don't even have to be like wingmen for each other. You can just have fun with your friends.
I think that's always true. Like, people will write me, gay guys will write me and say, I go out, I don't meet anybody. And I always write them back and say, did you go out alone? And usually they did. And if you're like picking somebody up, it's almost like you want to see them with other people. You want to see that they have friends who will go out with them. And it's a kind of implied vouching for this person, that you might want to know this person. Other people want to know this person. You might want to know this person.
Right.
And I think that kind of applies in a sex club environment too. A lot of them, men can't get in alone. Women can. But it's a really good idea to go with some friends, to go with a posse.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right, Chrissy, thank you for stepping outside your comfort zone and coming on the show to talk about it. I'm glad you've had a good experience. And again, if there's anybody out there listening who stepped outside their comfort zone and had a bad experience, you are welcome here on After Action Report 2. Chrissy, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Dan.
Thank you, Chrissy. I love my listeners. If you have a story of a first-time sexual adventure, email us at q@savage.love with the subject line After Action Report, and we might want to talk with you on the next After Action Report. Thank you for listening.
After Action Report.